Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. One. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me good? It looks like my audio is not that loud. Give me a one once y'all get in the building. Yeah, let's see. How's the audio? Audio is good? Okay, because I only see like a small ring on the audio. Do y'all, yeah, Anthony, that's cute. Do y'all hear the music in the background? Is the music loud in the background? I don't need this. I don't even know why I got these on. Uh, it's good, brother. Okay. Prolific. I'm back in Lima. Uh, my video coming up after this. I'm thinking that I'm speaking on this, and obviously it wasn't working. Yeah, the AirPods are connected. So, but does it sound good with the AirPods? Yes or no? And is the AirPods blocking out the background sound? Because I was trying to use this. Is it blocking out the background sound? Okay, so I'll leave it like this then. I'll just keep charging these. Charging my. Okay, that's what it was. It was the AirPods. Thanks for whoever figured that out. So yeah, so we back. We are back in 1080p. Okay, cool. Pods are much better. All right, so do y'all want it the camera to move like this when I move, or do y'all want it to be still? But it doesn't matter. I'm the number one stunner, Chip 4029. What y'all gonna talk about? I'm just here to catch up with y'all. Here to catch up with y'all. I'm back in Lima. Cusco, I mean, excuse me, not Cusco. Like I was saying, I went over to Arequipa. You don't see a lot of people going to Arequipa. You know, Arequipa is the second largest city in Peru, and it's in the Andes. It's in the Andes Mountains, and they have three volcanoes. I mean, whew, man, the trip wasn't nothing to play with. Because I also did some tours. I went to the Coca Canyons where you see the raptors, those big birds. I got some footage of that. They got it's like the third deepest canyons in the world. It's dope. I like that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? That's not the kind of stuff you see everybody doing. That's why when they hit me with that passport business, I'll be like, I ain't trying to hear that. Passport bros don't do the things I do. So, you know, I'm a traveler. I'm an explorer. So that's why I don't, you know, I don't really rock with that name. I ain't trying to get all into that today. You know what I'm saying? But that's the type of stuff I do and I've always done. So you are, yeah, definitely not a passport bro. Thank Buck Travels, Young SC, how's the Tinder in Lima? Let me tell you about Lima and me, right? So y'all know I've been here. I met a few really nice women, right? And or either on Tinder or on Bumble. But this is what I decided to do. Now I could have kept on going out on dates with more women, and it's just gonna make me look like a playboy, you know what I'm saying? So the two women who like me and treated me nice, I have enough time to maybe see them. They both have jobs. One is also in school. So it's like I could waste my time going on more dates, and meeting more women. Like I was up to four, you know, and I was just like, you know what? The other one that was a doctor, she's older, she's serious, she got a child, and I know she's looking for a serious relationship. Not like that the others are not, but I know she ain't got no time for games. And we had lunch once and we had dinner once. So she's a beautiful person, seems like a beautiful woman, but you know, I just and then also putting that many women on camera, it's just a lot. You know what I mean? So I say, you know what? I'm gonna rock with the two that's rocking with me the hardest for now. And after, you know, if once you know if things come to an end with those two, then I'll get back out there. But I had dates set up and all of that, so I was really like, you know, I was doing well out here. But I said, you know what? I'm not gonna just keep, you know what I'm saying, just going out on dates. And on top of that, you know, you going out on dates, but you still, for the most part, paying for the dates. You know what I'm saying? Not that it's a big thing, but where you going to stay out here in Lima, you're going to stay in the best neighborhoods, and those restaurants are not the cheapest. You know what I'm saying? You could easily go on a date out here and spend $50 to $100 on a date. You throw some drinks in there and one of these really nice restaurants. So I just say, you know what, let me rock with who's rocking with me the hardest. And then after that's done, I'll move from there. What makes me different? He said, what makes you different from the passports? Can you explain? There's McGain Fitness. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a few things how I look at it. One, I've been traveling since like 1991, right? And I think the guys who live in other countries who've been traveling, they don't consider themselves passport bros either. I feel like the passport bro movement came after I was already traveling, after I had already been to countries that they just started going to. To me, most of the passport bros are people who consider themselves passport bros, even the leaders of the passport bros, they only been about 6 or 7 countries. And almost all of the countries that they've been to only been the hot spots. We don't have to name those. Two, when they go to these hot spots, they don't do any real things in those spots. Like when I go to places like here, people come to Lima and don't go to Machu Picchu, but come to Peru, excuse me, and don't go to Machu Picchu. That's the probably the number one reason that most people in the world come to Peru to go to one of the wonders of the world, which is Machu Picchu. And if you're not into that, that's cool. And that's probably something that a passport bro wouldn't be into. You know what I'm saying? And that's just an example, you know. When I go places, I go to 3 or more cities in that country. And I go to every place that has a monument, a tourist attraction. I go to all of these places because I'm interested in that. So I've been to, so and that's just an example. I could go on for days and days and days. I've been to about 40 some odd countries. Most of these passport bros have been to under 10 countries. And 5 of those countries, more than half of those countries, is just hotspot countries, which is Dominican Republic, Sosua. It don't even matter if it's Santo Domingo. It's been Colombia, Cartagena, and Medellin mostly. It's been Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, maybe Sao Paulo. It's been Pattaya, Thailand. So of course, you're gonna go to Bangkok, but or it's the Philippines or something, or you could throw Costa Rica in there. And that's the most the extent of their travels. They're not going. If they go to Cambodia, it's for a visa run. They're not going to Cambodia and going to Angkor Wat. Even if they go to Phnom Penh, they're not going to the killing fields and all this other stuff, museums and the history. They're not doing none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then they want to pull people in who are established travelers who may have had relationships overseas and businesses overseas. They want to attach themselves to people who they was already doing that before you came up with Passport Bro. You didn't inspire somebody who was already living in the country, already like, okay, you can't say, oh, this brother's in the Dominican Republic doing business. Yeah, most of the dudes in the Dominican Republic that was doing business was already there before y'all even came to the Dominican Republic. People like Sherman and stuff like that. Kings or the dude on the beach, Spanish dude on the beach. Y'all have nothing to do with the success of the brothers who already been in these countries, married, living. That they try to attach themselves with the good things, but detach themselves from the things that people just going there to smash. And there's nothing wrong with going smashes. I've been many places to smash too. But if you look at my numbers, I've been to other countries, and you can't go to 40 countries all just to smash. Okay, there got to be some countries in there that's not known for smashing that got some attraction. If you look at every one of my videos, even when I went to Koh Samui, I did all the tourist attractions in Koh Samui. Most passport bros who go to to go to Thailand, they ain't going to Koh Samui. They going to Phuket, they going to Bangkok, they going to Pattaya. That's it. They ain't going to Chiang Mai, they ain't going to Chiang Rai, they ain't doing none of that. So that's what makes me different. Okay. A long story short, go to Chile. They ain't been to the countries I've been to, and ain't not one near one passport bro ever been to Easter Island. They don't even know what that is or where that is. You understand? That's the difference. We all like women, of course. That we all like women, but if you're a real traveler, you do more than that. So I'm pretty sure that answers your question. Yeah, Cambodia would be boring if you only going to see girls. There's like 5 historical things you could do in Cambodia and Phnom Penh. Then you could go to Angkor Wat, which is like one of the next uh, spiritual complexes down from Egypt. You understand what I'm saying? But if you just going for girls, then there's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? I know, but if people want me to explain, I have no problem explaining it once. You know what I'm saying? So anybody else who want to know, they can come back and watch this video. I don't know what the typical breakfast in Peru is because I don't usually have breakfast. I had something to eat. It's lunchtime here because I'm waiting to enter into my next Airbnb. So I gotta wait until about 2. So I'm just killing some time. So that's why I'm even at this restaurant, honestly. And I come here, it's in Barranco. I like this spot. It's cool. It's laid back. They got the nice couches, and the food is pretty decent, pretty good. I usually stay around this area. It's very easy for me to move around this area. I'm very familiar with it. No problem. No problem. Have you ever been to Iceland? No, I haven't, but it's on the list. And trust me, I got a lot of more places on my list of places to go. I'm not even close to what I want to accomplish with this travel game. But traveling is serious for me, you know. Local paper, I stand on what I speak. I get it. Global paper, I want to hang out with you so you can show me these models and bottles, man. Global travel OG. What that condo looked like in Lima. I stayed in buying a condo here. I don't know if I want to, I'll have to put money together and all that to buy a condo here. But maybe I'll make a new video. They just opened when I came back from out of Keeper. They just opened the new airport, so they got a brand new airport here in Lima. It's under the same name, so they're not going to tell you. But from now on, you're going to be flying in and flying out of the new airport. It opened on the 1st of June. So they doing some big things now. It's gonna make your trip a little further, and to get out there and get the Airbnb, it's a little work. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so they spending money over here, and Peru is known for its mines, among other things. So there's people out here mining. They getting some bread out here in Peru for sure, man. I don't like Barranco or Miraflores. I prefer San Miguel or San Martin. Okay, Eddie Green, and why is that? You know what I'm saying? I know it's probably a little tourist here, but I like it because I like to walk on the Malecon in the morning for exercise. And I know you can still reach San Miguel, but I usually walk either from Barranco to San Isidro and back. So you know, are there things to be aware of in Miraflores? I'll be visiting in July. Not really. I mean, it's a pretty upscale neighborhood. It's known to cater to tourists. They have the mall there. They have some of the attractions there. It's not. I know there's crime everywhere, but it's. I don't see any tourists or travelers having issues in any of the three most popular neighborhoods. So I don't know. No, I don't think I'm a paraglide. I'm still like they're like. I know they have it, and I walk by there a lot, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that. And I know my boy Fresh from Flyboy Way, he had an issue when he did it in Medellin, and he like hurt his arm, man, because the guy he was too heavy for the guy, and the guy like clipped the tree or clipped the building or something, and he hurt his arm. So like, even though you're probably gonna be over the sea out here, but I don't know. I ain't really. Do you know anything about Paraguay or Bolivia? No, I haven't been there, but I actually got a friend going there soon, and I know a female from Bolivia. So when I go, I'm gonna reach out to her so she could show me around. Paraguay, probably gonna hit that up next time I'm in Rio. What's the must sees here? Which one in Peru or in Lima? You know what I'm saying? I'm looking to find a wife through the TV. Okay, I'm sure you'll be able to find one and focus. You know, just don't go to the hot spots for a wife. I just don't like the tourist areas. I prefer to enjoy the country and culture instead of being around other Americans. I would say one thing, yes, there are Americans here, but they're not a lot. So to me, it doesn't really affect me because there's a lot of places that have a lot of tourists. And Lima is not one of those places. So yes, although there are tourists here, they're not a lot. And a lot of the tourists here are passing through because they're going to Cusco. A lot of them. Now you got some that live here, but there's not enough tourists here to bother me. You see them here and there now and then, but you could go a day without really running into tourists in these areas, you know. So I feel you though. I get it. You're going to Paraguay next month. That's dope. I'm gonna get out there as well. Definitely, it's definitely high on my list. Trade fairways. Why are these young content creators under the impression that you were hating on them? Didn't get that vibe. I think when you strike a chord in people, if they feel like you might be talking about them, or if they feel like what you're saying can apply to them, they get offensive. And now in this day and era, everybody runs back to the internet to respond. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the culture we're in. Like, however you might feel in your house, or however something might make you feel before, there wasn't much you could do about it. You would have to be like, remember back in the days, wait till I see him, wait till I see him. I'm gonna approach him. Now you don't have to do that. Now these days, if you feel a certain kind of way about something somebody says, you can go right to your Facebook, right to your Instagram, right to your YouTube channel and respond. And I think that's what people do. You know what I mean? And it's all good. It's all good. They have the right to respond. I would just hopefully they keep it respectful. You know what I'm saying? The gangster lifestyle. There's a difference between passport bros, vacationers, travelers, and mongrels. I definitely agree. And people could be a combination of a few of them. You know what I mean? So basically, a hit dog will holler, get you. Yeah, possibly. You know, yo, Zoe, this is Zimba G. Yo, Zoe, I was out Lima a few days ago. Your video gave me some info. All right, cool. I'm glad you was able to get some. I think I laid things out pretty clearly in my videos. And people always want to call me and ask me stuff, and I'll be like, dogs, watch the videos. Camera and FPS is awesome. Thank you. This is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. It's great when you use it as a webcam. It is good. I could have did it with my phone, but I'm sitting here. I got my laptop plugged in. I'm editing the video in a little while. I got my video airing after this at 1:45. So I got my video airing after this, and I just said let me kick it with y'all. Part of growing your community is talking to your audience and letting them speak to you and feel like they're part of the whole process. So I said, every now and then I was going to sit back and kick it with the audience. Y'all know I'm still trying to get to that 100,000. Y'all might want me to do 100, get that 100,000, because then y'all could be like, when you having a 100,000 subscriber celebration party. It's just open forum today. Ain't really no topic. I just got back from Arequipa, Peru. So I'm gonna be editing those videos. I'll be here for maybe another few days, and I just said, okay, I haven't put up a video in about 4 days. So I said, let me just keep y'all updated with what's going on. Yes, I'm still here in Lima. Homie's Hub, I'll probably reach out to him later. I'll see if we could just catch up or something. I'm not against meeting with other content creators if they're here. Travel changed my perspective on life. I don't know if it changed my perspective, but definitely traveling, you know, the enjoyment that I get from it, I don't know if I could go back to not traveling. I mean, I've always traveled, but now I'm at the point where I like to travel a lot. It gave me, I would say, perspective in what kind of options you could have in this world. Like before, you couldn't imagine yourself living in another country, but travel has led me to be like, I could live in another country. I have this option. It's definitely given me options with dating, you know what I'm saying? And women, cultures, open to cultures, you know what I'm saying? All this. So uh Darnell. So thanks for the super chat. So are you going to be in Brazil for Carnival in February? No, I'm not going to be. My place is rented for Carnival, so I'm probably not going to be there. And I don't like the crowds. I think the next Carnival I'm going to do is going to be the one in Salvador Bahia. Simba G. On my travel to Peru, I stopped by Panama, and the women at the airport were banging. So you've been there? Yeah, I've been to Panama twice. I was a little earlier in my travels. Like I went to Panama in 2019, and then I went again once right after COVID. So it could have still been in 2020. It was right after COVID. Yeah, the real CP show. Why do you think Peru is still a under talked about distant, yeah, destination for bros? Because it's not a pay for play haven. You know what I'm saying? It's not a pay for play haven, and that goes on everywhere. But it's not a haven for that. So, and I think they in their mind they don't see the Peruvian women as beautiful as some of the other Latin countries. And of course, they have the look, like they have the same look that the indigenous people who look in Colombia, the indigenous people. They have the look that indigenous people in Panama look. Like most of Central and South America, they have the people that look like that, but they also have beautiful women, just as beautiful as the women in Colombia, not in the, not per capita, but man, I've seen plenty beautiful women there, so, and I think it's just not known for that, and it's not a place that's traveled well, just what it is. 169 watching, only 48 likes. Yeah, y'all could take the time out and just hit the like button. I appreciate it. I already been to Portugal and Mediterranean, February, March, April. I ain't even done yet. I feel you, brother. And his name is Prince. No, yeah, Prince Centennial. Prince Centennial. I can't. That font is hard to read. Cassie, I said that right, bro. When you going to Addis? I'm actually probably going in November with Rob from No Excuse ENT. That's what we've been talking about. Kid Greatness, young Bobby, what's good, brother? How you, man? How you doing, man? Will Uber, how is your investment property in real phone? It's going good. I got another booking this month. I still got a little few more things I want to do before I go hard and start promoting very hard. How is Peru treating you? Peru is treating me good, man. It's getting cold now. There's a lot of gray skies, but it's not really raining. But I just went to Arequipa, which was colder than here in Lima. But I had it. It was an adventure. That's all I'll say. Y'all stay tuned for the video. It was an adventure, and the altitude. I didn't get sick in when I went to Cusco, but I got sick here in going to Arequipa. I got sick. I got sick. The altitude is insane. Yo, and I was taking the pill and I had the coca tea, but the altitude is insane, man. It's definitely not for the weak at heart. In the streets with Keith, what it do, my brother? What's up, though? Just hit the like button. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Y'all check out Keith in the streets. He be doing this thing. He have a lot of interesting lives going on and all that stuff. But we gonna connect, man. Last time I seen Keith, we was in Thailand and we supposed to connect, but I haven't run into him in the same city or country since, you know what I'm saying? But it's all good. Check out Astrid in Gaston, best restaurants in Peru. Okay, I've been to some really good restaurants. Definitely they got food here, that's for sure, man. They got good food here. John Kevin Rush. Hello. So would you recommend living in Peru long term? I think you could find yourself living in Lima. It's nicely metropolitan in the nice areas and they have all the amenities that you will want. You just might have to be able to adjust to the gray skies. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't rain much, but the sky looks great from the overcast from the sea. And if it sometimes it has that Bogota feeling, but the layout of the city is really nice. So maybe you could do the summer months where there's more sun. It might be a little hard for some people who need to see sun, but it has the water, and when the sun comes out, it's I like it. Well, personally, I like it. You know what I'm saying? You have an investment property in Medellin. No, that's a real station there. Charlie be outside. What up, Charlie be outside? Charlie was here in Peru. Charlie could tell y'all, hit the MF like button. So, what's good, my brother? Sid the dog. What up, Sid? Where you at, Sid? Sid be doing this thing too. Y'all need to check out his channel. Sid it's quiet, but he be doing this thing. He be making moves, and Sid be having some chicas. He be rocking with some fly chicas. I see you, my brother. Arequipa is 9,220 feet above sea level. For reference, Denver is 5,000 feet above sea level. Yeah, it's crazy. When we went to Coca Canyons to see the condor birds, man, we was like 4,000 something, man. You know how you feel like you're gonna freak out, and you be like, "Yo, open up the car, man. Stop the car. I can't breathe, man." Yo, it was crazy, yo. I booked my flight to Bogota before yesterday, going for 2 weeks in early August. All right, cool. So my family is from Ethiopia. Word, I'm glad to help in any way about travel. All right, so hit me up on IG because I'm definitely I'm gonna start looking for my tickets right now. Yeah. I thought Cusco was higher in altitude. No, actually, Arequipa is higher than Cusco in altitude. So, with all the craziness that happens in Medellin, are you glad you decided not to invest there? Yeah, yeah, I think Brazil and Rio was a better choice, and the rents are higher there, and people from all over the world come to Rio as their bucket list. They go there for the Christ the Redeemer statue. They go there for the carnival. They go there for the beach. So I think there's more international travelers around the world who would put, if you know how you have a bucket list, it would put Rio de Janeiro ahead of Medellin, Colombia, mostly on any day. You know what I mean? And because I have a 2 bedroom, most of the people who rent my place are families or couples. So it's not a lot of single guys who rent my place, because most times single guys only rent on 1 bedroom. Yeah. The real CP show, will you be doing or thought about doing a quick overview show of numbers of your favorite restaurants and foods? I don't know, because it's a lot. Maybe I'll do that. But I think I've explained which ones I like when I was there. So if you look at some of the videos when I'm there eating with some of the ladies, or either and Waka or Cami, I'm showing you some of the best food I had here between the last time I was here and this time I was here. So just watch the video. You know, fuck Charles Papo, bro. We only go to cheap countries right now. I can't go to Morocco, one of the most expensive places in the world. If I want, yeah, Morocco's on my list. I ran into a brother who gave me some insight on Morocco when I was in Thailand. This is a black brother from the UK, but I think he was by way of Jamaica or something like that. And he gave me some jewels. So I'm definitely probably gonna hit Morocco. As far as Brazil, all the travel vlogs always talk about Rio. Y'all ever heard of Balneario Ambori? No. But guys are doing a little more than just, but Rio is famous. It's historically famous, for that Christ the Redeemer statue and for the carnival. It's what it is. Brazil is still on my bucket list. Yeah. Ship 4029. True. It really is a better look all day long. What was the process of getting a property in Rio? Very similar to getting a property in America. Very similar. You find a seller, motivated seller. You do form an agent to show you some places. Get a lawyer. The lawyer does check the property, make sure they own it and it's in the right names, and it's taxes and all this stuff is paid on it. You have to do some translation of your passport and certain things, but you make an offer, you make a deposit, um, and then you go to like the notary and you sign everything, transfer the money at the notary, and then you get your documents. Maybe a month later. It's same. It's just not as much paper as in America. When you buy a house in America, the stack of papers is like this in America. It's like that in Rio. You know what I'm saying? In Brazil. So that's what I would say. It's Jay Clyde. What up, Jay Clyde? The real CP show. I saw some of those great videos on those eating videos. Just saying, a overall additional video might be good. I'll take that into consideration. You know what it is? It's just more work, more work. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. It's more work. But I understand what you're saying. Best travel destinations for passport growth that isn't Medellin. Um, just saying, spread your wings. You know what I'm saying? You know, spread your wings. It depends what you want, honestly. You know, if you just want ladies, then go to the hot spots. You know what I'm saying? Ever been to Sao Paulo? Yeah, yeah, I have been to Sao Paulo. So what up? I'm in Fiji Islands out here in the Pacific Ocean. It's a vibe out here. That's on my list, but damn, Justin, that shit far. It's definitely on my list. Can you finance or is it all cash? You could finance in America, and you might be able to finance eventually if you build up credit in Brazil, but you're probably not going to just be there come there and finance in Brazil. You know, after you have your CPF and you buying things and you have your bank account and you building up credit, like right now I'm building up credit. Maybe in the future, if I want to do something else out there, I might be able to get a loan there. But you have to build up your credit. And that's really what your CPF is for. When you buy things, you notice at certain places, when I bought my furniture, TVs, any big thing, even the small things, they ask you for your CPF because it's help building your credit. Larry J. Fly, all I mean, Hassle Worlds are nothing up. Play prices for the long term people. Live life to the fullest. Larry J. Fly, do you see yourself checking out China and going to the eighth wonder? Yeah, I want to go. Only reason why I really want to go to China because I want to go to the Great Wall of China. I'm not really that interested in China, and I know that it could be, but it's just not high on my list. It would really be on my list to get one of the world wonders off my list. Really, yeah, it's far, but when you already in Asia, true. Fiji Island is short. Make sure you hit it when you're in Asia, Australia. Yeah, I'm trying to get to Australia by December. I chose to do the Bogota because I'm trying to sightsee. It's got a lot of stuff to see in Bogota, but there's a few things. Not going for chicks. Not going to front. I might get I know what you're saying. In Santa Fe, the last night there, I feel you, brother. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Alex Watson, can you please name some examples of bucket place destinations for passport goals? Because I'm new to the game and I'm from Miami. Okay, give me a second. Charlie be outside. Thank you for the super chat, Charlie. He said Team Lima. Charlie, no, he been here. He's been here. You can have a good time. I would say if you are passport bro, go to the start. Start off with the DR. This is the passport bro. Right to pass. The DR, Brazil. Maybe you could throw in one of the two, Panama or Costa Rica, Colombia, Philippines or Thailand. You get your passport, boy. Your passport, bro. I think they got a T-shirt. You get the passport boy T-shirt after you get after you hit the top four. You get your T-shirt now. Travel level. Salute to the number one traveler, Global Galavan. Thank you, brother. Live life to the fullest. The Philippines might be good for someone looking for something real, but please don't mess it up. That's what bros. The Philippines been going on for too long. I don't think they can really mess it up. That's been going on for a long time. And there's other places you can go to. You ain't got to go to Angeles City. You ain't got to go to the Channel Manila either. I was looking at the best time to visit Peru. It's like December-ish if you want to go. It shows May, June, and July, but it's cool there. Yeah, you don't want to come now. You want to wait until about December, January. You know, if you come to Lima. Now is a good time if you want to go to Machu Picchu. Well, I went in September and it was beautiful in Cusco and Machu Picchu at that time. It wasn't rain, so you won't be sliding down the mountains. Church OGYT. Greetings. So, what's your prediction of the next destination before it gets played out? I don't know, man. I honestly don't know, man. I'm not going to see. One thing I'm not going to do is act like I know everything and act like I'm a specialist on places like I see some people do, because then you end up going back and contradicting yourself. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I said what I said, and I'm gonna leave those things at that. You know what I'm saying? Game. Game zero. I don't like passport bros locations. I like professional women. I found a good country in Central America that is low key, and passport bros free with beaches, and passport bro free with beaches. I could, yo, this is just the thing, okay? I'm just trying to push the envelope forward. That's why I'm here in Peru. You know, there's so much more to see. There's Ecuador. Uh, there's you know, Belize. You know, there's other places that you can go and check out. You know what I mean? Passport bros don't go to South Africa. Jamal. They might be going. You know what I'm saying? They might be going. A couple of them been asking me for information about South Africa, so they might be go. They might be going. Nate, Camel of A1. Thank you, brother. Live life to the fullest. I want to visit Loilo Islands in Philippines. Okay, I like the low key islands out there over the big three: Manila, Angeles City, and Cebu. Boracay too. When I went, I checked out Boracay. Boracay was amazing. It's a nice vacational island. Like you might see a lot of Koreans there. It's dope. White sand beaches. It's really nice. And they got some water tours there, like island hops there. Yeah. Boracay is very beautiful. And it got bad at one point, but they cleaned up the beaches and they made some rules and they just made it better. But then again, that was 2019, last time I was in Boracay. Where are the places to go in the DR and Rio to find females like Caucasians? Alex, we're not going to talk about that here. You know what I'm saying? You could look at any video and find out the places to go. You know what I'm saying? All pay for a consultation. You know what I mean? I don't want to waste my time going backwards. Make sure to hit the Amazon City and the Pitos. There's another Amazon jungle that is that it? Hold on. Cammy gave me a place to go that's the Amazon here. That next time I'm going there. Let me see if it's the same one you telling me. She definitely gave me she gave me the city with the Amazon. Yeah, she gave me some videos too. This is the Amazon here. It's called yeah, Tarpoto. No, you got a different name. This is called Tarpoto or something like that. She sent me this. So I'm gonna be checking out the Amazon next time I'm here. Yeah, so I'm going to that city when I come back next time. I'm going to that city. It's the biggest one, but I don't think that's the same city. That's not the same name. All I know is that this is more my style. Maybe it's the same name. I don't know. It's not the same name. Tarpoto. Nah, this is a different city than the one you're talking about. And this is from a native, and she just showed me a video of her friend being there, and that looks more of my flavor right there. So I'm gonna check that out. Not the Amazon in Brazil. I'm talking about the Amazon here in Peru. And you know, Peru borders Brazil too. Filipino chicks got the worst names imaginable. One chick is to her name Ping Pong. Shoot, some of them in Thailand too is like that. So, can you see yourself getting a wife in Peru? Justin Holmes. Ooh. I don't know. I've been married already. I'm not really looking for a wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for a wife. That's another reason why I ain't no passport bro. I'm not looking for a wife. I'm not looking for a traditional woman to play the traditional roles. And my whole theory about that If you want a subservient woman that play traditional roles, then get one. All you have to do is not accept any woman who's not like that. You know what I'm saying? So this whole thing is that you got to travel around the world to find that. I don't agree with that. If that's what you want, that's what you get. If you're a man, you get what you want and you don't accept what you don't want. You know what I'm saying? It's not my in my eyes that you got to travel around the world to get this or get that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? You know, was my ex-wife so traditional? Not so much, because she worked, but she cooked and cleaned and took care of the children. I mean, I helped her too, but get what you want in this world. Get what you want in this life. And the only way you get what you want is by not accepting what you don't want. You know what I'm saying? I think the wrong message is sent to young men out here. Get what you want and don't accept what you don't want. And that's more of what a man should stand for, not, oh, I gotta go to another country to get a subservient woman. And the women be laughing at these dudes like, y'all think we subservient? Y'all think we're this? They be laughing at that whole play. Yeah. Okay, Justin. You don't consider yourself a basketball because you've been to more places out of the big team. I really like Ethiopia, but you gotta know how to move. I'm pretty sure. Y'all gotta go to Spain. I've been to Spain. I've been to Spain a few times. The Amazon is all over, sure. But yeah, that's for sure. But Brazil has its Amazon. Peru has its Amazon. Does Colombia have an Amazon? Any country that borders Brazil probably has an Amazon. So yeah, I can't recall if you have already been to Japan. I've been to Japan. I haven't been back, but I was when I went to Japan. It was 1990. That was my first international flight. I got my passport to go to Japan. So yeah, it was the first country outside of America that I visited, Japan. But I haven't been back. And it's just so good and full of soccer. That's what Sunday sermons for, a player. The real CP. So I just hit you with the $10 on PayPal. Uh, I'm a I am FF 1981. Thank you. I appreciate that. Damn, you haven't been to Japan since 1990. I know. I know. I know. Yeah. Actually, they saying it's pretty cheap right now, so I might slide by there on my next trip back to Southeast Asia. You have always speak wisdom. Have you considered doing consultations on manhood? I actually do that, but just like when I'm in a barber chair, I have people in my chair. I used to be schooling all the young dudes in my chair. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to help them out and drop some jewels on them and my wisdom and experience. You know, what is the most unsafe country out of Brazil? Yeah, I think Colombia. I wouldn't group it into countries. I would group it into cities in those countries. You know what I'm saying? But I would think it could be. It's going to be out of Brazil and Colombia more than the DR, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Lies to the fullest. I've been to Ethiopia twice when I was an overseas contractor. I felt that it was too slow there for me, and you do have to know how to move because scammers are out there in pockets. Yeah, I've heard about the scammers out there too. I've definitely heard that too. Drop gems now. X X X X. We in shit. For real, for real. I'm good on Ethiopia. The landscape and the weather isn't too good there. Ninja 554. I was in Japan in November of last year, and I was in Tokyo, and it was nice nice overall. I guess there, but the women were too skinny. There were twigs, and some of them were stuck up. I'm saying I'm glad to hear people with different experiences. You know what I mean? Because I think sometimes, just sometimes, when we go somewhere, we don't want to sound disappointed because we spend our money to go somewhere. And so we cap and say it's great because we don't. Cause I've been to one thing about Austin. Austin ain't never capping. Austin Harlem. Shout out to Austin. He ain't never capping on his disappointments in the country. I give I give him that. And so Big Zo with the masterful mouthpiece. Alex Watson, Real Cecile, and Buddy Jean comparison. Uh, I ain't going front. This dude was beefing with me on my flight from Rome to Athens. He was trying cock block because I was sitting next to a baddie. Dude was hating hard, hard body. I feel you. That should happen too. Through Japan for the content. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff to do this year, y'all. Jesus, I got to make my list. No, I've never been to Greece. Ninja 55 554. I have never been to Greece. But it's on my list. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. I'm trying to do a Euro step too, but Wilfred said he can't do it. He got too much going on. I don't want to do a Euro step. We did the Euro step one, so it's only right that we do a Euro step two. But he said he can't right now. And right now is probably the best time to go because it's warm. So we might have to push the Euro step two to next year. Afro nations in Portugal during July. What is that is that an event? Buck Travels? Is that an event going on in July? I just came back from Italy. Spicy noodles. How was it? How was it? Lord doing a Euro step. Yeah, he did say that. So that would be a good. Yeah, he did say that. He did say he was doing it soon because I was on a live with him with Keith and he mentioned that. Is there a country or countries or islands that you would like to see, but logistics it might or might not work? Yeah, Fiji is one of those places that I would love to go, but logistics, prolific work for something else. He's definitely a hard horse pill to swallow, but that's my dude. Indeed, the Max win. You should be in the States next year when the World Cup is going on. There might be just too much going on. You know what I'm saying? Spicy noodles. I went to Florence, Amalfi Coast, Rome, and Lake Como. It was beautiful, but very expensive. Yeah. I ain't trying to break the pockets either on those. Because if you don't get the views either, it's like, I'll get over there, but I'm not trying to. I'm trying to get the most for my bucks. But there are some places that you can't avoid that are going to be expensive. You just can't get around some of them. Buck travel, drill stuff is expensive. Yeah. I don't see too much passport road going there until they staying at hostels. Yeah, and you get a modest hotel room. Like, you know, I've been to Portugal and France, and we were in Amsterdam, we were in Czech Republic, Germany. In Frankfurt, you get a modest hotel room, and it's expensive. And uh, made it, made it. As a hip hop head, I would love to hear more stories on touring with Special Ed and the IU dances. Well, I've covered that when I used to do my podcast. And if you want to hear it, check out the interview. I interviewed my brother Clarence Lowe when I was back in New York City. If you've seen that interview, we touched on that big time. I heard Albania was nice because some brothers told me on the live stream that the women over there were 15 out of 10. And he lives in Albania. Yeah, that's on my list of. I'm trying to do the more humble Euro step. You feel me? I'm not trying to do Euro step two is going to be the not so expensive European countries. That's the plan. XXXX men should only go after what they want and never accept what is under that. Whereas that mirrors the women take up a settle. Yeah, for sure. Charlie be outside. Some places suck. Depends on what you're into. Yeah, you ain't gonna like everywhere. That's why it's best to go somewhere Like the only real reason to me to go to Siem Reap in Cambodia is if you want to see Angkor Wat. You know, they got a little nightlife and all that, but if you don't want to see Angkor Wat, if that ain't on your bucket list, then you don't really need to go to what's it called? Siem Reap. You go to Phnom Penh if you just want to have fun and see some of the tours, the killing fields and all this stuff. They got enough tours to see in Phnom Penh. But Siem Reap, you need to go if you really, really, you really want to see Angkor Wat. Uh, Dua Lipa is outdated. Do you think you're blowing up Lima, Peru? Do you think Lima will turn into Cartagena? It can't turn into those places because it doesn't have the elements for it to turn into those places. I'm not blowing it up. How can I blow? If I go somewhere and I enjoy myself, and it's my job to make content, it's not blowing it up because it's not a secret. Just because if people haven't been here, they haven't been here. I didn't tell nobody to come to me. I didn't say this is the new Haven. I didn't say this is the new Medellin. Lima's the new Medellin. I said none of that. I didn't show no working girls. I didn't show no area of working girls. It's not. I'm not blowing nothing up. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm traveling and I'm sharing. If me having a good time is blowing it up, then you're looking at it the wrong way. That's all I'm gonna say. I didn't say find me a video where I said that's what bros need to come to Lima. I've never said that. I don't tell people where to go or what they should do. I just share what I do when I'm having fun. I think too, on top of that, I've been lucky here to find some nice girls. And I got good aura and energy. So when they meet me, they're like, okay, he's cool. I can mess with him. But, you know, that ain't gonna be the same for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere I go and I have fun and I make a video and I stay for a little while, I start blowing it up. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's just the wrong way to look at stuff. I might go to Sri Lanka, to maybe India. I don't really have a desire to go to I don't have a desire to go to the worst hoods, the poorest places, or the poorest areas in the country. That's just not my desire, man. Let's do a Eurostep fire this summer, travel lover. Anybody know about Prague? Yeah, I went to Prague. I got some videos. You're gonna have to look on the channel, man. San Salvador. It's a new Medellin. If y'all want a new Medellin, have fun. I don't even want a new Medellin. You might have a higher barrier of entry. Can't be enjoy. Yeah. They got the foolery everywhere in the world. But there's more to travel than that. Wolf is back on board. All right, Ozzy. He might need a fundraiser, so y'all help Wilfred with his fundraiser so he can do the Euro Step Part 2 with me. He gonna need about $10,000, man. But ninjas and patrol will follow you and you're moving. So what? I ain't in control about that. You know what I mean? What you want me to do? I ain't got no control over that. I would say this, right? Am I in Lima showing my ass? No. I'm in Lima. I'm in Lima chilling. I'm in Peru. I went to Machu Picchu, Cusco. I'm in Lima chilling. I just went to Arequipa, chilling. Tours. I'm not here showing my ass. So if people want to come where I am and show their ass, I'm not responsible for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to stop making my content because people are following where I'm going and showing their ass. That's their upbringing. That's not up to me. That's up to their upbringing. You know what I'm saying? My new video starting at 1:45. So what time is it where y'all are? I think I'm an hour ahead here. I heard tourists been getting unalive in Colombia, and there was some brothers who did 5 years in Ecuador. Did you hear? Yeah, yeah, I know about that. I know about that. So you're not going to gatekeep in the future in five cities similar to Medellin, but you gatekeep. Daniel, if I make videos about everywhere I go and everything I do, you're contradicting yourself. And 1 minute you're saying I'm blowing it up, and then the next minute you're saying gatekeeping. I said when I go places, I make videos of what I've done there, how I feel about it, and that's it. People do what they want to do. I'm not responsible. I will say, making those videos on the beach in Cartagena got a lot of people that go to Cartagena. So indirectly, I blew up Cartagena, and now I understand the dangers of having too much fun and showing everybody else. I will admit to that. I will definitely admit to it. Going to Cartagena and having so much fun in Medellin and showing the world that I helped to contribute to blowing that place up. I would say that. You know what I'm saying? If you worry about places blowing up with food out here, yeah, like I mean, places gonna get popular. It doesn't matter. There was a time where Boracay in the Philippines got blown up, and they had to close it and clean it up because so many tourists was there blowing it up. That happens anywhere. Uh, Maiden, Maiden. Thank you for all you do. Appreciate. Thank you for the 1999 super chat. Appreciate that. My guys just got back from Medellin and they wasn't happy. They was disappointed. I asked them, "Is it true? Have Medellin played out?" He said, his opinion, yes. I already told everybody. The stuff that I said, I didn't say it because it's already there. I said it because it's going to happen and it's happening in front of everybody's eyes. And I told you it would. That's all. In some places I'm gonna be wrong, but I just in any way, in any event, it's just my opinion. It was just my opinion. And people get that's why I have my channel. It's my channel. I'm gonna voice my opinion. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta get all you don't have to get people get so offended like because it's my opinion. You know why I guess? Because they're like people follow your opinion. So people so if Joe says it, it might actually happen or he might actually help it to happen. I don't know. I can't say I don't know. I met Zoe in Thailand in February. Those solid brothers, nothing but respect. Ms. Raw, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. The gangster lifestyle. I just came back from Medi also, and we had a great time going back in July. See, gangster lifestyle. He loved that. He loved Medi. You know what I'm saying? But I can't. I can't do Medi no more, man. I mean, I'm not saying you'll never see me there, but I can't do that. I'm not running around chasing girls and parking yet. And I've been to the other places at Medi. Yes, I know other places to go. Yes, I lived in different areas, but you always going to eventually go by park areas to see who's in town or the action. And if now, if you go to Provenza, it's damn near like going to park areas. You know what I'm saying? So this to me, this for me, this I've been there enough times, and going back to the same place so many times is only holding me back from visiting other places. You know, and I'm in at the point where I'm getting comfortable, and I do like to go back to certain places, but there's not enough draw for me to make Medellin like so that much important in my life. Like Medellin ain't doing that for me, you know. Have you been to a place called Independencia? I remember seeing a video long ago with a fire woman and a thumbnail. I need to get. I don't know. It doesn't ring a bell to me. Cali, Colombia is nice. It's a nice change from Medellin and Cartagena. It's a nice vibe out there. Great salsa. They got a nice they got a nice nightlife complex that they built up. I like if you wanna if you don't wanna be doing a run of the mill, I would say yeah, try Cali. But you guys gotta you know no disrespect though, but these ninjas on here lane traveling to cave. the women is stupid, and most of them are broke. Stay in America and buy the foot drag is there. All men pay, so no. Nighthawk 8236. So you're an intelligent brother, man. Don't take what some of these guys say literally, because guys who have been following people such as myself for a long time have massive respect for you, bro. Nighthawk, thank you. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Gangsta lifestyle. I'm just mad that I didn't listen to my cousin who goes medicine back in 2016 before it got blown up. I don't know. You'll get tired of it sooner or later, brother. Trust me. I'm in my euros. I don't know when you started to go to Medellin gangster lifestyle, but you'll get tired of it in a minute. You're gonna get tired of it. You definitely get tired of it. But then again, you got some guys who been going to the sewer for 20 years. You got guys like that. I just don't know if Medellin can sustain tourists for that long. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if Medellin can sustain dudes going down there for girls for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're going for it. You know what I'm saying? He contributed with money, so it matters. You're welcome, my brother. Yeah, so I can't imagine somebody be like, man, I've been going to Parque Edis for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? I've been going to Hollywood Beach for 20 years. Like, guys definitely have 20 years on Sasua, or 10, or, man, I've been going to Sasua 20 years. You're going to, well, I guess it wasn't Sasua for 20 years. I heard back in the days it was Boca Chica and then Sasua. I mean, I can hear somebody say they're going to Colombia for 20 years, but I will hope that they eventually, and I guess the super DR was easy for a lot of East Coast guys because it was so close and so affordable. But hey, it is what it is. Which is better in your opinion, Cali or Barranquilla? They're very different, and I like them both. Barranquilla could get a little boring, but it's nice, and they have beautiful women. So I've done more time in Barranquilla than Cali. I like Barranquilla, but it's hot and you could get a little bored because it's not that much to do. They got a nice few little beach clubs, but yeah, I would say if you're looking for a girlfriend, maybe you go to Barranquilla. I would say you could find a girlfriend in Barranquilla. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might be able to find a girlfriend in Barranquilla, even though a portion of the girls in Barranquilla do go down to Cartagena because it's so close and get their money. But if you can find a chick in Barranquilla that's not into that lifestyle, and Barranquilla got an AT&T call center and got colleges, so there is a decent amount of girls who educate, who speak English, and they have a little education in Barranquilla. I would say that. There are safer countries in South America than Colombia. I agree. If it's a Clyde, you will progress after 20 years, I would think. I would hope so. So much more to come up. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Move around, fellas. Like, okay, I've been to like seven or eight cities or towns in Colombia, or maybe more than that. You know what I'm saying? So, if you've been to Colombia 10 times and you only been to Cartagena and Medellin, or you've been 5 times and you only been to Medellin, I would just suggest that you try some other stuff out. That's all I would say. Try if you keep going back to Medellin, you're only going for one thing. You can't front and say you're going for something else if you only going to Medellin. So on a scale, and this is on a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate Kenya experience? I think Kenya experience was like a 7. It was like a 7. I would put uh, I would put South Africa, like a 8. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, it was like a 7. It's like a 7. But I didn't get to do Mombasa. I didn't get to do everything that I wanted to do while I was there. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get to do everything. That common is Tig, Big, and Creamy. Well, to be honest, I don't understand what you talk about. Tip. Many men are used their visa for money. Yeah, so let's get the likes up, man. Y'all guys are getting comical, man. Y'all getting funny. Yeah, Kenya was cool, but I would say if you want to know about Kenya, I would say talk to Kid Greatness, talk to Austin. Who else? What's the other brother there that's the merchant seaman? Damn, I can't remember his name. But talk to those guys, because those guys spend a lot of time out there, and they really know where things are. They really enjoy it. So, but also I would say ask them the pros and cons, ask them the things that they don't like. You know what I'm saying? Charlie be outside. Never been to Medi? You ain't never been to Medi, Charlie? Then you definitely missed it. I ain't gonna say don't ever go to Medi. You should go to Medi at least 2 or 3 times in your life. It's something to check off your bucket list. You feel me? I ain't knocking Medi like that. I would say if you're a world traveler, you need to hit up Medi at least 2, 3 times and then move on. Then move on. Don't get stuck there. Maybe you shouldn't go actually because you could get stuck. Medi will. When I first went to Medi in 2019, I was definitely like, "Is this real?" Gangster lifestyle. Yes, many can get played out real quick, but I'm tired. I'm retired now, so I get that now. So I have time and go for places as soon as good for the working man because it's right there, easy. I get you. I get you. Gangster lifestyle. Yeah, I do. You. There are brothers who are retired who relocate to Medellin, Colombia. I know some of them, and it works for them, but they not in Poblado in that area. There's definitely guys who their Spanish is up, and they live in a pretty similar to normal life as they could in Medellin. Now, don't get me wrong. When I'm talking about those places, I'm talking about guys visiting. Visiting. I'm not talking about guys living. Guys living there are in a whole nother experience. So I would never say it's played out for someone who actually moved and relocated there. You're going to find other things to do. I'm just talking about guys who travel and they keep going back instead of trying other parts of Colombia out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking to. Anybody who's expatriated to another country, you're forced to get more into the country, get more into the culture, and find other things to do. You know what I'm saying? Of course, something led you to get there in the beginning. Something that about the country or the city that you have to like to get you there. So, in no way am I really referring to those guys who actually expat to a country. I want to go to Medi, no, Dolo, though. You could go to Medi, Dolo. You'll be fine. Hit me up on IG or something. Or do a consultation. You'll be straight. You can go to Medi and be straight. You know what I'm saying? You're running low on that just for men dye. Bro, nah, I don't use that dye. I use a different one that's more natural. So it will show the grays. I don't want my joint to not show no gray. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want my joint to be all gray. So this one that I use, it still shows some gray because I do have gray, but it's just not. If you use those just for men, your whole joint gonna be black. You know what I'm saying? And my hair is not really black, so this one works well because it's right in the middle. It still shows some gray, but it don't leave you all gray. Indigenous 69 high brother. So I know the USHIT. I mean, we could say that about the US, but everybody is started somewhere. You know what I'm saying? They started somewhere in the US. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I forgot. This is Daniel. Excuse me. Thank you for the super chat. Passport Bros 2.0. Black men should go to Dominicans. white countries like Poland with girls' sexual fetish, manga for free and legally marketed. He has a different perspective than some of y'all. We gotta let him live on that. Can you do more videos on men's grooming, fashion, style, and traveling? A lot of passport bros have no idea how much better the experience is if you dress well in some of these places. I guess I could mention it a little more. I don't want to focus on that, but I could mention it also more. Come on, so we Queens will give you the taste of uh, Colombia and Venezuela, especially Corona Queen. Salt and pepper out. I'll try to be outside. I'm not rocking with the Fat Joe painted on joint. Yeah, his joint looks weird because he don't have black hair, so he can't use the black dye. So he got to use the brown dye, and it looks a little bit, it looks a little bit painted on because you don't usually see somebody use brown dye. They do have brown dye, but you don't usually see that. And my opinions on my super chat comments. Yeah, yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Hey, I feel you, man. Shit. You know what I mean? I ain't mad at you. I understand what you're saying. You're saying go somewhere like some of these poor European countries where they might have a fetish for black men, and the ones who do, you'll end up, they help you out because you get the buns and you help them out by fulfilling their fetish. I definitely understand what he's saying. I understand what he's saying for sure. So, any idea how to bring the mangoes inflation down? Find another location, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Find another location, man. Find another location, man. And trust me, Colombia, the DR, they are not the only places, man. Find another location, man. Chicks love theirs too. It's mandatory. There's other places to go, man. Venture out, man. Scott Cook, nice. And thank you, brother. Zoe the boss. Thank you, brother, for the super chat. I appreciate the love, man. For real. Yeah, you see, this is the thing. Y'all say that the YouTubers blow places up, right? But y'all want the YouTubers to go and discover these places or expose these places and share it with the audience, right? That's the YouTuber's job. Go here and be like, wow, this is dope. This is what I did. And then when we do that, y'all say we blowing it up. So what y'all want? Because no, y'all not going on your own. So when we do that, y'all say we blowing it up. So what y'all want? Because no, y'all not going on your own. So most people start going because there's somebody there who made videos about it that they could see from their perspective. Like, okay, well, so said it's fire. I might check it out. And then y'all say, oh, so you blow it up. What y'all want? Y'all want us to go first and explore these places for y'all and share it with y'all. And then y'all say, yo, you blow it up. You know what I'm saying? So it's one or the other, man. It's one or the other. If you're younger than 45 and you're mango hunting, you're in a disappointment to your father. Halo never forgot me for marketing my channel. Kwame Safari, tour guide. Oh yeah, that's the brother is that the brother in Kenya? We want late night thirst, Cecil Swag. I can't be doing late night thirst no more, man. That was the young zone. That was the young zone. I can do something, but not necessarily late night thirst. I can't be doing that. You gotta remember it and like it, like when remember that old movie. Remember that old movie. Remember the Skyhook. Remember the late night thirst. Some things have to have its nostalgia. You know what I'm saying? Some things you gotta let just be nostalgic. Feel me? Uh, late night thirst. Oh my God. I could do it, but I don't want to do it, man. Indigenous 69. Hey, brother. So, do you want to travel to Africa, Russia, China, Canada? I've been to Canada. I've been to four countries on the continent of Africa. Russia and China are not high on my list. Honestly, it's raw. I'm thinking about a quick 7 day trip to Manchester and Liverpool, July. Something different. That sounds dope. That sounds dope. I would say that. Centennial. Did I say that right? I ain't gonna lie to you. Had some classic late night thirst in Rio. Late night thirst was created in Rio. I ain't going front. Primo, okay. I caught a live dose. All right now. I'm definitely thirsty. Chip 4029. I'm definitely thirsty. Hmm. Could I do a late night? I'll do a late night thirst, but I probably won't do it here in Lima. I'm trying to keep my image kind of clean in Lima. You know, I'm getting a lot of love from Peruvian people. They watching the channel and saying welcome to my country and all that. Yeah, I ain't trying to do the late night thirst in Lima. Now, if I go to a different wild country, I might do a late night thirst. That's my victory. I don't have it yet. I don't have it yet. I retire in 3 years. I'll be in these international streets full time. Salute to you, Primo, and congratulations. You know what I'm saying? When you get to that point, the big royal short. So cleaned up his image, laughing out for sure. Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. You know, I like to move on and do some new things. I'll think of something else new and creative. You know what I'm saying? Without late night thirds, those should be eyeing some big sponsorship. I don't know. They don't really be doing big sponsorship for black YouTubers in the travel space. I would say maybe if I did more Tech Talk Tuesdays, I got the most sponsorship from the tech actually, and I didn't really put much time into tech. So, what's your favorite Peruvian dish or dishes? I don't like the saltado. You know, I don't really like that. I don't eat the guinea pig, cuy. I don't eat the llama. And ceviche is cool, but it's not necessarily a Peruvian dish that I like. I like the food here. You know, the food is good here. You know, in comparison to maybe Colombia and Brazil. You know, the food here is just much better. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, don't F it up if the country's showing you love. Yeah, yeah. Broad day hunger. That's why I started doing beach interviews because it was like, out in the open. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of moved from the late night thirst to the beach interviews just so we could keep it open and outside in the public. You know what I'm saying? Because being back at the crib, that was a little bit, you know what I mean? Both shades, thanks. Yeah, man. Okay, I see I got the likes up on 32nd. Let's see when this video will be. Oh wow. Hold on. The video is airing in 24 minutes. My first video in Arequipa, Peru. So, do you offer consultations for the countries and contracts? Nothing beats boots on. Yeah, I offer consultations, and with that, if there's a tour guide I use in that country, I'll give you a tour guide. I'll give you some Airbnb links or hotels that I've stayed in, and suggest some tours if you're into that type of stuff. Suggest some nightlife. Suggest some restaurants. Yeah, that's what you get with the consultation. So, oh, Seven Soups. Yeah, Seven Soups is pretty good. It's pretty good in Lima. They got a couple of stores. It's pretty good. If you like soup, it's pretty good. The consultation is $100 just for passport heavy. That's the only black travel creator who gets those heavy sponsors, but he has to invest a crazy amount of money. Yeah, the amount of money he said he spends on his videos is like, hey, you know what I'm saying? He said he spent like 30,000 a trip. I'm like, take it. Like, I'm glad it's finally starting to pay off, meaning that he's getting the views. But he's in a whole different category. He ain't really a content creator like that. He just does that on the side for the fun. Perfect, thank you. I'm 52 on some grown ish, Primo for sure. Bishop NYC 23. So just came back from Thailand, Bangkok, Pattaya, and Phuket. Didn't think I would love it over Colombia or Brazil, but it's on the list now. Bishop NYC 20. Tell me, what did you like? Because I understand what you're saying, but I'm curious to find out what you like that put it high on the list. What was it? Was it the safety? Was it the food options? Was it the cost of your stay? What was it? Was it all of those things? Did you like the girls' personalities better or attitudes better? What was it? The gangster lifestyle. Me and Zoe from the title of the polo champ. Y'all hit the like button. Oh, you want to battle me with the polo gangster lifestyle? My closet is crazy right now. My closet, like, I don't really wear polo a lot when y'all see me traveling because some of my polo stuff is just it's too dressy, it's too fly, and it's a lot of cotton. So I wear the Lacoste because it's synthetic clothes that dry fast and it's lightweight. So I don't really come out with a lot of my polo. You know what I'm saying? But my closet is heavy. It's heavy. Uh, FZF. Fifth? Is that how you say it? Big up. So we live vicariously through you while we grind back at home. I got you, man. I got you, man. I'm gonna be out here as long as I could, enjoying myself, sharing, letting y'all know it's possible. You know what I'm saying? Letting y'all see somebody with boots on the ground. So if y'all curious about going to these places, so one thing I always try to show people where I'm staying and what I did and what they could do every place I go. And that would include tours, that would include nightlife, that would include restaurants. You know what I'm saying? I've always been consistent with those things. I've been rocking polo since the '90s, so the average cat can't see me when it comes to polo. Yeah, me too. I've been rocking since the '90s. I mean, shit, I got a 1992 Stadium hoodie, man. You can look at my video with my group, Jiggy. You know what I'm saying? We put it on. I got the pink safari vest. I got classic items. I got classic items, man. Now my brother Prince closet is more expensive than mine, but if don't make me battle somebody and tell my brother Prince, yo, Prince, let me get a couple of them items so I can win this battle. Fiji Island, New Zealand, they got some baddies, or at least that's what they show in the media. Gangster lifestyle. When I'm out of the U.S., you'll see me rocking like dry fit. Yeah, that's the same thing with a lot of the Lacoste stuff that I wear. It's dry fit. So yeah, it's comfortable and you can wash it and hang it dry, and it'll be dry the next day. That's why I don't really. And cotton makes your bag heavier, and when you need to clean cotton, you need to put it in the dryer. So it's just I don't really rock with a lot of polo. I think you had that polo Yankee hood on at the game. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, that was something recent. HD chilling too. I think for the super chat. Have you been to Ecuador? No. And let me tell you something about Ecuador. I had a ticket to go to Ecuador on May 11th. And my boy that lives in Rio, who works the beach, Joshua, you hear me mention him all the time. I had always told him, when you go back to Ecuador, let me know. I'll go with you. But I had to go to Rio and get my ID. So I forfeited my. Well, I got my return on my ticket, but I should have been in Ecuador this month from the 11th to the 20th or something like that. So I missed my trip with somebody who knows his way around. Israel. I got polo from back in the days since Skate Key and Grand Tune. Me too, because I started rocking polo in high school. Uh, Larry J. Fly, DC, we were rocking polo since the 80s and 10s. Larry J. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Y'all gotta show me some. I gotta show me some food. Since the 80s, come on, man. That means you was wearing horses in the 80s. What was that show? A different. What was that show? Tracks of Life. No, what was the one with Gary Coleman? Come on, man. Y'all wasn't rocking since no 80s. Stop lying, man. Show me some proof. Because they only had horses in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? You can't just tell that to anybody. Daniel, $5 super chat. Thank you for the super chat. What's the future of the passport, bro? How will the locals look at us? Is it going to slow down? Are more countries going to require visas and etc.? I don't think that has to do with the passport, bro. I think, Medellin tried to adapt to it. I think Cartagena tried to adapt to it. It's really not, it's not really big in Rio. You know what I'm saying? It just appears to be big in Rio, but it's not big in Rio. And I think for countries like Dominican Republic, people go to it's the most visited country in the Caribbean. So everybody's not going to the Dominican Republic for that. There's a lot. The Punta Cana is families and vacations, and so I think people think that it's about that, but it's not. It's not. I wouldn't say that's the number one reason why most people go to the Dominican Republic. And in the Philippines, Peninsula City, they created it for the military. So it's like they created it for that. Same thing with Pattaya. They created it for the military that was on vacation and in the World War. So some places it was created for a specific reason. In other countries, it was created for the locals. And then foreigners come in there and they start going crazy, and that changed the price. But if you go to the spots where the locals go, it's usually the local price. If they can't really change the price on the locals. I guess that's why a lot of it is freelancing outside of the establishment. Uh, Scott Cook, New York got it from us. Tim, New Balance. Larry, please. We ain't know nothing about DC. So how could we get it from y'all? But y'all know about us. Because everybody who wore it was artists from New York. So how could we get it from y'all? You know what I'm saying? We didn't see y'all. Um, New York had a lot of visibility. You know what I'm saying? So they probably weren't even selling it in DC, man. You could get Tim's everywhere. 40 below, that was Harlem. First of all, New York City wasn't wearing Tim's. Harlem dudes was wearing Tim's. Then the rest of New York started wearing Tim's. I don't believe you, Larry. You're gonna have to prove it. They associate polo with funk status now. I know. And I don't have no problem with that. What about Travis Massey or Brooks Brothers polo? So do you uh, honestly think the Philippines has valleys? Yes. DC is all New Balance. Okay. Low Life's been rocking since the late 80s and Rafi Kids. Thank you, Miss Rowan. I don't believe that DC had polo before New York. There's no way you could prove it. In other countries you visited, did you drink of their soft drink? Nah, I'm not a soft drink. Well, I don't really drink soft drinks. I'm guessing that there's food juice or soft drinks are better. Mostly, yeah, they're supposed to have real sugar, but and they have like Coke in a glass bottle and all that stuff. I don't really drink soda, so it don't matter for me. Personally. RRL is an unk status. Okay, yeah, that's true. DC made New Balance and Nike boots and home posits. I don't know about that either. Wilmatic, Wilmatic the barber. Salute. Hey, New York City started it all. We got the vibes from taking our summer vacation, bringing splash throughout the world. That's true. Ask Kanye about Kanye. Know he bit all that shit off of New York. Speaking of New York City, that boy Cat and his stupid food cost y'all. Yeah. We don't want to talk about that. But Indiana had a better team. So New York was fortunate to win 2 games. They had a better team. They got a better team. You know, it's only for so much they could do. Brunson needs another all-star. You need a better cast. You need better help. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Yeah. Cat to me is not the most intelligent player, and he's up and down with his energy and his effort. You know what I'm saying? And he makes some silly fouls. Some silly fouls. Well, sometimes I sit there and be like, "Are you kidding me?" Alpo and New York City Hustlers were soaking up DC and soaking up. That's not true. Alpo was fly before he even went to DC. Listen, he was wearing Dapper Dan before he went to DC. So how could he soak it up from DC? He was already all the pictures of that stuff was in New York. And Dapper Dan was making everybody's clothes. He was already doing that before he went to DC when he was with uh what's the name? Rich Porter and AC. You got your information wrong, Larry. You got your information wrong, Larry. I'm sorry, but there is no pictures of him being fly with Dapper Dan shit on in DC. That's all in New York. And the fly shit he used to wear in most of the pictures was some Dapper Dan stuff. It wasn't no DC stuff. So I don't know. Yeah, that's right. Ralph Lauren's from the Bronx, New York. So how DC had it come? That's right. LL Cool J had on Outpost chain. LL Cool J's style in the beginning of his career was Outpost style. Everybody knows that whole Kango, all that. You look at his first album, that MCM shit and all that shit. On. Straight fit that from Outpost. You don't go nowhere and get style. Most people with style got style from, they just got it. A lot of style people got style. They always had style. They don't go to DC and now they got style. They have it. They already have it. Most people, it don't matter where you're from. Some people got style, some people don't have it. You could take 2 people to the same store, and one dude gonna come out fly, and one dude gonna come out goofy. Like you see some dudes, they are Gucci this, Gucci that, and still look goofy. So I used to wear Nautica jackets with the hats, chalk there. New York City is the fashion capital. Everything will come from there, but you can't knock it. New York had a big influence in fashion around the world. Right, and there's fly stuff everywhere, but y'all can't front. And a lot of y'all was able to get your style up because y'all saw New York rappers, man. Y'all saw us on TV. Y'all saw Rakim and y'all saw LL Cool J. Y'all saw Slick Rick. Y'all saw EPMD. You know what I'm saying? Y'all saw the fashion coming out of New York City growing up. We didn't see fashion coming out of California and DC. Only other people that was out early on was like Philly. Philly had their fashion too, but we can't get influence from somewhere that we never seen. You know what I'm saying? And Cat is like a bull in the china shop on the court. He can't hurt you and opposing team with his lack of athletic. Yeah, he's very awkward. He's very awkward. I would agree. So Aaron number one if y'all come to Howard University and Clifford. Ain't nobody from Howard University is known for being fashion wise in New York City. By the time you go to college, you most dudes was flying high school, dogs. They was already flying high school. The fly dudes was fly by high school. You know what I'm saying? And you trying to say Puffy got his fashion from DC? Come on, man. You can look at pictures of Puffy mom, Puffy dad, and his mom and dad was real close with that percent. What country had the best sports bar you have been to outside the city? Sports bar? I don't know. I don't know. Nothing that I could like remember, wow, this was amazing. You know what I'm saying? I can say every country got an Irish bar, though. I'll tell you that much. Every country got Irish bars. Cali is in a class of its own, for sure. Because people started wearing khakis and all that other gang related stuff. And that did have an influence on people. And also, the Mexicans had an influence on LA fashion, West Coast fashion. Don't yeah, give the Mexicans their props too. I don't talk about that, right? Some of that shit that Ice Cube and them was wearing and all that shit, one of them gangs came from the Mexicans. Yeah, the Mexicans their props. All them khakis and dickies and all that. Some of that came from the Mexicans. Yeah, some dudes just fly. Some dudes they be fly from kids. We know who was the fly dudes around the way from Luck, from Young Luck had. Keep buying them properties worldwide. That's how it really been. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So like in about the video on Out of Keeper, the first video Out of Keeper is coming up in 7 minutes. So y'all can stay on here because I think it references the video. So we're gonna like sign off and let it reference the video so y'all can stay here and watch the video. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Y'all gotta show and prove, you know. Dudes buying properties overseas ain't necessarily pulling themselves passport. You know what I'm saying? How many dudes that's waving a passport broke banner got a property overseas? How many dudes waving a passport banner is actually married overseas? You know what I'm saying? Not the leader, or so-called leader, super cat. Super cat. You know what I'm saying? Fe- feminine, friendly, and fit and all that. Where they at? Where they at? Where they rings at? Where they rings at? Where the kids at? Where they black Tinos and everything else? You know what I'm saying? Point blank. I'm definitely going to Ethiopia. I'm definitely going to Ethiopia. They're just out here dressing like Mexicans. Behind the Lens TV. Jules, what it do? The Megatron. So salute. Salute, man. Salute. Yeah, man. Super cat. So we got another 5 minutes before the premiere of Attic Keeper. Don't well, it's the first. It's my transition from here, Lima, the airport, getting to Attic Keeper and checking into the hotel, stuff like that. Keon, right? Well, Zoe, you and I are close in age, and I grew up in LA, and it has its own style and always has. And we embrace our Mexican culture, but actually, Dickies was a prison style that LA gangs modernized. Keon, I respect you. You know better than I know. But I did see that in the video that the Mexicans had something to do with that style. They could have been wrong, but I didn't just make that up. I got that from like a documentary or you know, it was one of those things with it was either had Game and it had Kendrick Lamar. I think it was one of them videos where they was talking about that whole thing. You know what I mean? But I definitely can stand corrected. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I ain't gonna argue with you. You from the West Coast, you know better than me. But I will argue with my brother from DC, Larry, talking about New York dudes got their style from DC. Please, man. Shit. New York dudes went down to those Virginia and DC and all them places hustling and showing those dudes style. Why do you think they hated Alpo so much? He went down there with his style and smashed mad girls. He had beef with dudes in DC over the chicks he was smashing. He was smashing dudes' chicks. We ain't gonna talk about that. I ain't big enough Alpo, and I'm just saying, you know, the history has that. I mean, start with stuff with it's the little rap and culture. So what time is it? It's 1:42. Okay, we got 3 minutes. So y'all stick around and let the premiere come in 3 minutes, and y'all watch, you know, this premiere of Arequipa. So there's some brothers been here, but how many brothers brought y'all to Arequipa, Peru? Not many, right? That's why I tell you, it ain't the same. It ain't the same. Ain't the same over here. Favorite restaurant? The Chinese restaurant I went to was called. I made a video. It's a Chinese restaurant called Sin Hu or something like that. That was one of my favorites. And then that restaurant in the museum. What was that? I can't remember the name. Look at the video. But I mentioned my two favorite restaurants. Maybe or just I think the food was excellent, and the food was excellent, and the presentation was excellent. The drinks was excellent. Yeah, man. And LA influence is the worldwide now. Who would have thought that Crips and Bloods would go all over the country? I don't think people know about the real LA until colors. Yeah, that's true. Nazo, we had our own style, and the Seattle was beefing with fellow New Yorkers over there. It ain't what it said. That ain't what the history said. But Larry, all right, Larry. All right, Larry, you got it. You know what I'm saying? It's neither here nor there for me, honestly. And that's one thing I'm gonna say about Peru. It's not built like those places. It's not built off of those places, you know. So why do you always have to compare one place to another place? Peru is Peru. You know what I'm saying? Peru is Peru. That's it. It's not Colombia. It's not Cuba. I'm not here because there's prostitutes here. So you know what I'm saying? So if y'all could get that out of your mind and then just accept the fact that every place is not the same, not even close. You know? And I see that question a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no new this or new that. You know what I'm saying? If you want that, just stay where you at. Even the zoot suit came from Black American culture, and the style and the cars came from Detroit. I guess every place paid its contribution. So check it out. I'm gonna sign out now because it's 1 minute, and the video will start. The video gonna start. So thank y'all, and how they said, let's do it again. How do I get out of here? How do I end? Oh, edit, end. How do I? Oh, end stream. Peace.